bought a truck?
We did buy a truck. If you remember, we have a calendar that Micah has that has every day is a holiday. Well, today is chocolate cake day. And so in our camper, we have baked a chocolate cake.
Yeah, baby.
So I'm going to make up some frosting here in a little bit, and we're going to have some chocolate cake. And not only that, it's a perfect day to have cake day because in celebration of
Chocolate Cake
Day.
New truck day.
That's right.
Go see it. Go see it. Okay.
So basically, you can't really make frosting in a camper with cold butter, without a mixer, and without power. Am I missing anything? Ah, yes. What you can do is use
More
super
power.
strength. Yeah.
Super strength.
Okay, ready? Hold it down.
Help me.
Yeah, I forgot to take the butter out, and so we made chocolate cake. No problem mixing the cake. It's not that hard to mix a cake with a spoon or a whisk, and I did that just fine. But the frosting is proving a little bit harder because
It's
the
cold.
butter was cold.
Even
It was
if you
just out of the
take it
fridge,
it
but
wouldn't
still, it
work.
was
Even
cold.
if you did take it out, it wouldn't work. It's too frozen here.
Well, quite an adventure here. Our cake. Never quite got all the butter out of it.
It's like marbled cake.
So everybody's like, it's like sprinkles. It's marbled.
My hands were so
It's
messy.
basically got big hunks of butter in it. But at this point, it's late and we're trying to get on the road. At least get a little ways down the road tonight. So we're eating cake that has chunks of butter in it. I'm
And coffee.
pretty horrified by the whole entire thing.
Chocolate, good. Butter, good.
Coffee,
It's
good.
It's going to be awesome. It looks speckly. It's like a birthday cake, sprinkle cake.
Yeah, so here we go.
It's like those butter.
Happy truck day to you.
Happy
Happy
chocolate
chocolate
day to you.
We got as far as Hayes, Kansas last night and stayed at a Walmart. And we're under some winter advisories for bad highway conditions. I don't know how bad it's going to be, but we've got a few chores to do this morning. Gotta get some water, gotta get some gas, and 2 vehicles now. And maybe in a little bit it'll warm up and the sun will come out.
Are we going up again? Here we are. We're on next month. There we go. Yeah,
We had a lot of snow last night. We stayed the night in Hayes, Kansas. When we woke up this morning, it was snowing. So the roads were just wet, so we kept going. But we got a little late start just to make sure the roads weren't icy. And then, yeah, it was snowy. So it actually just now is about 2:30 in the afternoon, and the sun, we're far enough west in Kansas that the sun has come out. We're getting closer to Colorado, so we're almost there. We didn't really video a lot yesterday. It was a really, really hard day. We found out a lot of frustrating things. We found out that basically when we called to add the truck to our insurance, they said, hey, we forgot when you changed addresses last year, so to go back, when we left on our trip, we got a virtual mailbox, which basically is a private company that runs mailboxes. I can't remember. It's like Postal Annex or something like that. And you can get your mail sent there. And then what they do is they'll take pictures of it and send it to you. Well, so get to when we bought the truck, we added the truck to our insurance, and they said no problem. So the next day they said, oh, hey, we forgot to give you discounts because your new address is in a different county and it's cheaper. So we're going to send you all this money back. Well, we said, oh, well, that's fine. They used the word like since your cars are garaged at this address now. And we're like, oh, well, we don't actually have them there. That's just a virtual mailbox. So I don't know if that makes a difference. Well, it does. And this company decided that we were not worth keeping on as a client. So they did not come out and say we cancel you, but they said, well, they will not renew our policy this year and that we are not covered if we get in an accident. And so we're not going to keep paying them if we're not covered. So we had to go through the process of looking for new insurance yesterday. And then we found out that we called the DMV to try to go get the truck registered here in Colorado while we're here. And they said, you need the title. And we said, well, we have the electronic title because Kansas, where we bought the truck, does electronic titles. Well, Colorado said, no, we need an actual title. So we're like, we're going to have to go back to Kansas to get this title. So we were freaking out. And so we call around to Kansas DMVs and got somebody who was really, really helpful. Like the closest DMV to where we were in Colorado. It's like still 2.5 hours away. Just in case we had to drive there. And she worked it all out. And basically the title has to be sent to the seller of the truck. And so we called him and made sure he was okay with that. And he'll send it right to us. And he said, yes, no problem. So he'll mail it to us. But basically what that means is we have to sit in Colorado and wait until that comes. I think we have it worked out, but we do have to kind of hang out in Colorado for a little bit longer. But the exciting news is Gabe got his permit. So he is a permitted driver. And we did get that done yesterday on top of all the other stresses. It was still a pain because we are full-time traveling and they wanted to know what our residence was. And we're like, well, we live in our camper. Well, where's the camper parked? Well, it's parked like next month. It'll be in Florida for a month. You know, like we travel. But they were arguing with us that we weren't Colorado residents, and we're like, we are Colorado residents, and we have a vacation home here, but the mailbox, our mailing address, is not a real residence, and so they were arguing with us about that. So again, really rough day. Hopefully, it'll get better.
Good morning. We are about 4 hours from selling our first home in Aurora. We bought this house when our kids were very little, and 2 of them were born in that basement. I think I was 24 when we bought the house, and now 20 years later we're selling it. We operated it as a rental property for about 15 years, something like that, and when we decided to sell it, we asked the tenant who lived there if they were interested in buying it, and they were, so it's going to work out really perfectly. So we will check back in after the closing where we'll have the money we need to get started on the new property. We sold it.
Yay!
That's how a real estate closing should go.
Money
For people, because you have a house and you care for it, and then you just give it to a stranger.
Yeah.
But this is cool because the people who had the house, they had lived there, they'd rented it from us for a few years, maybe 2 years. I can't remember how long
I
it
think
was.
at least 2 years.
They took super good care of it. They loved it from the moment they stepped in there, and it worked. They bought it. It really worked out for them. And they're at the closing table, and everyone's hugging each other, and it was.
Yeah.
That's how you're supposed to sell a house.
Yeah.
It's never happened before.
Yeah. But that was really cool.
It's
And we're
cool.
excited for them to own the house, and we're excited for us to be able to use that money to start our new life. I mean, that's really what that's really about.
Yep, that's the seed. That's the seed money for the next 10 years of dreams here,
That's
and
right.
So we're on to the next chapter.
Yeah.
Our new truck started giving us a little bit of an issue, and that there's a little bit of a whine sound under the hood, and then the voltage drops out. So reading online sounds like an alternator. I looked around at it. It looks really simple, so we're going to see if we can figure out how to change that out this morning. Okay, no. Yeah, right now, that belt is off. This is this. Let's go. That's it, it runs. I guess we can leave town.